which is the 6th of March 2004. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Nithyananda Spurna program in Oklahoma, United States. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism guided the delegates through a special meditation process to work on the dimension of darkness and experience the Big Bang of the black hole in their Anandagandha chakra, and as such to go from the macrocosm to the microcosm, which would bring tremendous healing in the inner space. Let us now see a few excerpts from that satsang which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave.
Etheric body, etheric layer is the black hole. The outer three layers are physical, inner three layers are spiritual. Actually, generally 90% of the people, once they leave the physical body, they can't come back. But rare case, till the etheric body, they can come back. That is what you are asking. Many people who are dead, they come back. How is it? How is it possible? They all express the same experience of this black hole. This black hole only I call it as Anandagandha chakra. Anandagandha chakra. Have you heard of the black hole theory? The whole universe just merges in one dot, and that also become nothing. Somebody asked me, where is Anandagandha chakra? I always tell them, yeah, there is a balloon. In the balloon, your body is like a balloon. Can you get a balloon? If you have it, then we can show. Where all your energy centers merge and meet, that only is Anandagandha chakra. If you resist this black hole, this can be taken as a depression. If you accept and go inside, the same will become a regeneration energy. The regenerating place. Understand? This black hole is such, automatically you have an inborn tendency like a Srishti and Pralaya. Srishti means creation. Pralaya means destruction. Srishti is the Big Bang. Pralaya is the black hole. Everything merges in one point. In your being also, every day you undergo Srishti and Pralaya. The upper and lower graphic. Upper graphic is Srishti. Your enthusiasm, excitement to work. Pralaya means to relax, to settle down. Understand? Sometimes you are excited, enthusiastic, want to jump, do everything, shake the whole world. Let us do revolution. Sometimes you just want to rest, relax, don't want to do anything. But what do you think? The laziness and the relaxation is always condemned by the society. A guilt is created in you about relaxation and laziness. Immediately you start resisting the pralaya. You start resisting the pralaya or shrinking. But unless you allow the pralaya to happen, again Srishti cannot happen. You miss the subject. If you resist the pralaya, pralaya means destruction, you will be resisting the Srishti also, creation also. So if you know how to go into that relaxation mood, how to move, how to cooperate, that mood of relaxing, the mood of shrinking, then you will know how to expand. If you cooperate with the mood of shrinking, then the same shrinking will become a regeneration force, like a sleep. In sleep you are regenerated and come out. If you do not, See, understand, if your body is this balloon, little fat, no problem. Here is Mooladhara, here is Swadhisthana, then Manipuraga, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Anya, and Sahasrara. Imagine this is your body. This is your body, where the 7 chakras are there. Where is Anandagandha chakra? It is here. Where the whole balloon went and merged. Anandagandha chakra is here. The black hole is here. The etheric layer is here. The whole thing merges. Can you say now, where is black hole in this universe? Where is etheric layer in this universe? In your body? No. She's showing here, nowhere. It just merges there. You cannot say anywhere. In the healer's initiation, the etheric layer will be, the Anandagandha chakra will be opened. We work on the Anandagandha chakra only. It will be initiated. Then people feel the continuous energy flow in them. With that energy only they heal. This is spiritual, that is material. The black hole is drilled. Of course, only enlightened person can drill the Anandagandha chakra.
Swami, is it the same as the dark energy that the scientists are talking about?
In cosmos, in macrocosm, microcosm. Microcosm and macrocosm is one and the same. Pindanda and Brahmanda is one and the same. Brahmanda is macrocosm. Pindanda is the microcosm. Pindanda is the miniature of Brahmanda. That's all. That is why physics and science, physics and spirituality, they relate with each other so much. Today, Dr. Bratton gave me one book. Of course, I'll explain to you all about the basic philosophy which is explained in that book and how the spirituality correlates with it. When he is here, tomorrow I think he may be here, I'll explain so that every point by point I'll relate with him. I'll tell him, make him tell, and I'll tell how the spirituality relates. If you resist this black hole, if you resist the shrinking mood, you name it as a depression. You always have a hatred towards relaxation and resting because of social conditioning. So you call it as a depression. Once you name that as a depression, you start resisting with it. You can never come out of depression by fighting with it. You can come out of depression only by cooperating with it, because that is your part and parcel. Can you win your shadow? If you fight with your shadow, what will happen?
Yes. Entering now into the second year of today's segment, the year 2006. On that day, the Paramavatara, the ultimate incarnation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted a Healer's Initiation Convention in Los Angeles, California, USA. The benefits of the Healer's initiations are multifold, not only for the receiver, but also for the initiated healer. When we become useful for humanity, existence showers back at us. On the context of how the dharmic actions do indeed reduce our karma, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had previously given an example of how when somebody comes to him with a stomach problem, if that person does anadan and, for example, feeds 100 children, then his karma would just disappear because of the expansion of his being. In the same way, when we bring others closer to the Guru and they get healed and saved, then our karmas also get burnt. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the healer's initiation in Los Angeles and giving us this powerful understanding and cognition of how we can simply burn our karmas when we expand our being towards others.
We are now moving on to the 6th of March 2007. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism speaks on the Jain Sutras. Here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains how Mahavira has created the purest traditions that cannot be misinterpreted. These truths will be instilled in people for generations to come. Swamiji goes on to say that Mahavira, the conqueror of fears, is showing us the truth in its truest form. Let us now hear this beautiful discourse by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the Jain Sutras.
जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतं। जीवन्मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्। आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दम्।
नमो अरिहन्तानं नमो सिद्धानं नमो आयर्यानं नमो उवच्चायानं नमो लोये सव्वसाहूनं एषो वञ्चनमक्कारो सव्वपापवनाशनो मङ्गलानां च सव्येसिं पदमं हवै मङ्गलम् पदमं हवै मङ्गलम्। Mahavir, greatest enlightened master happened on the planet Earth. He is the only master who is able to create a technology or the formula to reproduce not only enlightened beings, to create the purest tradition. Understand, Vedic tradition, or the traditions which are born in India, we can really be proud of one important thing. You can't misinterpret, misunderstand Mahavir.
You can't. He has gone to the extreme of great spiritual truths. Not only he expressed in his life, even the teachings which he created are the next generation which he created. In them also he has instilled these great truths in its purest form. Understand? You can't instill that great tradition, great truth in your next generation if you are hypocrite, if you are hypocritical, if you are saying one thing and living in the other way. Because the next generation, the immediate generation, is going to only see you and learn. It is not going to learn from what you are teaching. It is going to learn only from what you are doing. Maybe after 200-300 years, nobody will know what you did. They will learn from your teaching, because only the teachings are recorded and kept. But the first generation is going to learn only what you do. If the first generation people are truthful, honest, spiritual, without violence, that means the master lived a pure life. Master lived beautiful life. Except Mahavir, there is no other master who can boast the beautiful first generation. Means enlightened first generation, who did not fight with themselves. The moment master dies, first thing will happen is fight among the disciples.
Yes. So entering now into the year 2008, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivered the Paramashivoham message to devotees who had gathered from all over the world. On this auspicious day of Mahaparamashivoratri, the delegates, diplomats, disciples, and devotees got an opportunity to experience the Sanidhya, closeness of the Paramavatara, the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So we can see the pictures of the thousands of people gathered in Adi Kailasa to sit in the presence of the Paramavatara, the embodiment of Paramashiva himself, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and experience the bliss and the Kundalini awakening of his very presence. Let us now listen to a short glimpse of the Shivaratri message of the year 2008.
This is a beautiful moment. The auspicious Lingodbhava time, the time in which Mahadeva, Shiva, appeared in front of Vishnu and Brahma, gave darshan to both of them and removed their ego. Blessed both of them, and gave them the ultimate truth. This is the same moment. Same time. The Ardha Jama. This is the same time Vishnu and Brahma experienced Mahadeva in the formless form, the cosmic consciousness. As a light beam, the pure consciousness. We need to understand the story a little deeply. Brahma is the representation of intellect, Saraswati's husband. Vishnu is the representation of money, Lakshmi's husband. Through this story, Brahma and Vishnu is not able to find Mahadeva, Shiva. An important truth is revealed. Money and intellect cannot find enlightenment. But many times the money and intellect starts fighting between them.
We are now moving on to the 6th of March 2011. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the concept of wealth, but it was combined with a warning. Once more, truth is expressing. Whenever people want to ask me, I sincerely want them to have, but at the corner of my mind, there is a filtering system which just dilutes the sankalpa and lets only the good happen. It straight away helps the person asking. I don't have sankalpa, so I send the right person to the consciousness and you get the right thing. Getting wrong thing is the wrong punishment. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing on how the Guru gives always the right to the disciple. Sometimes it may not be pleasant as we want, but it is always right for the disciple. And also we have a beautiful video on Kriya where you can find it on the official channel of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, which has the Kriya and 108 Kriyas which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed.
Entering into the next year, the year 2012, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, explained how he himself is a unique contribution to the spiritual consciousness of the world by having connected the gap between yoga and Vedanta. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that his unique contribution was that by scientifically and logically analyzing and validating the extraordinary possibilities and expressions, he made the highest Vedic tradition as a practical yogic experience. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that his next unique contribution was to be user-friendly. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on the various dimensions in which he is contributing to, his happening is contributing to the authentic Hinduism and the spiritual field.
We're now moving on to the 6th of March 2013. On this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elaborated on the prescription for deathlessness. Death begins in us when we entertain any sensation of powerlessness. Feeling of tiredness and boredom are physical powerlessness because we don't feel strong enough to continue the task before us. Depression is mental and emotional powerlessness, and refusing the trust in life is spiritual powerlessness. When we refuse to accept that we are powerless, we deny death in our very biomemory. By flooding ourselves with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, and enriching, we assert our power and ascend to enlightenment. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving the direct truths to attain enlightenment. And if you want to hear more on these truths, you can log on to Nithyanandapedia on the 6th of March 2013 to hear the whole satsang and the transcript of the discourse.
Entering now into the year 2014, on this day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, conducted the 25th Inner Awakening Convention in Haridwar, Uttarakhand, India. During the morning presidential address, he encouraged everyone to wear the Master's words like diamonds. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that listening is one of the most important spiritual practices, and therefore listening gives the words we utter inside and outside so much power. He shared that the words we receive from the Master are the most powerful and can immediately provide us with an inner awakening, and that his words are not rocks to build a house, but like diamonds that gives us the strength to realize and discover ourselves. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on the importance of the Master's words and the space of listening. Again, inviting each and everyone to go on Nithyanandapedia on this day, 6th March 2014, in order to listen to this address by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
देवदेवोत्तम दीन संरक्षक देवदेवोत्तम दीन संरक्षक देवदेवोत्तम दीन संरक्षक देवदेवोत्तम दीन संरक्षक देवादिदेवा नित्यानन्दा देवादिदेवा नित्यानन्दा देवादिदेवा नित्यानन्दा देवादिदेवा नित्यानन्दा श्री नित्यानन्दा कृपामया श्री नित्यानन्दा कृपामया श्री नित्यानन्दा कृपामया श्री नित्यानन्दा कृपामया पतितोदा
I have a doubt with what Sharanya said. You said that every time there's a part in you which wants completion, right? Then every time there's a part in you, then there should be always satsanga around you. There should be no dusanga around you, because there's a part continuously wanting for
What I understand is, though there's a part in you which really wants to be complete, you always desire to be incomplete because you perceive yourself as incompletion, and you always desire to be in the space of incompletion.
That listening does not mean don't care for anything. Listening means once you internalize something, once you receive something through your five senses, making sure that understanding what life wants you to do from that situation is what I feel is listening.
Yes, so let us now enter into the year 2016. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted a Q&A session as part of the Conquering Time webinar. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism elaborated on the responsibility and the obligation and how they are two completely different concepts. He defined obligation and asked his viewers to remove all obligations from their life and instead to run their life by taking responsibility, especially in relationships, Feeling obligated is a very destructive force, because we will always take revenge on whomever we feel is demanding from us from inside out. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that mature relationships are relationships without obligations, even in marriage. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanding on this truth of how to have mature relationships with others and how feeling obligated is destructive in terms of us growing into blossoming in relationships with others.
We are now moving on to the 6th of March 2017. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the Inner Awakening Day 9. The Inner Awakening sessions included manifesting Shaktis with the Balasans, energy darshan and initiation into the depth dimension mandala process, and manifesting Shakti session on the length and breadth dimensions. The Inner Awakening participants were introduced to the power of moving objects and power into looking into the Kristashila for cosmic answers. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the individual darshan and also the participants of the Inner Awakening program. Let us now see the glimpses of that day.
Swamiji, in our lives, we are subject to so many external rules. We are told to behave in a particular manner, to live in a particular manner, to eat in a particular manner. Now, do we have command over our own lives? Do we have the ability and the right to decide what is good for us as we seek happiness and peace in our lives?
Whoever does not understand the context is bound by the rule. Whoever understands the context is empowered by the rule.
No.
Any rule. Whether it's a traffic rule, or dressing rule, or eating rule, any behavior, any rule, if we do not know the context why it is formulated, that will be binding us. If we know why it is formulated, two things will happen. One, even while you follow, you will not feel you are bound. You will not be feeling bound if you stop in the red signal in the traffic rule, if you know the context. While you are following, you will not feel bound. Second, all the gray area will be your freedom. The freedom which comes by knowing the context is to end. One, even while you are following, you will not feel you are bound. Second, all the gray area is your freedom. But when we don't know the context, even while we are following, we will feel we are slaves, and we do not know the gray area, and we do not have the freedom or command over the gray area. At end of the day, even powers is nothing but knowing the gray area of the cosmic rules. When we know the context of the cosmic rules is dharma. When we know the dharma, even if you follow the rules, you will not feel bound. And because you know the gray area, you know where to play. Knowing where you can play and where you need to obey itself is a power.
Entering now into the next year, the year 2018. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principles of the states of consciousness during the everyday Nithyananda Satsang. In this talk entitled Mechanics of Sleeping and Waking States, Why You Feel Lethargic After Waking Up, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the physics, chemistry, biology, and mechanics of how we sleep and wake up in relation to our states of consciousness. Furthermore, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed why it's important to do Sandhya Vandana to establish oneself in Turyatita through the asanas and pranayama. He announced the powerful Rajashekara Vinyasakrama of 108 asanas with the Sanskrit verses and encouraged listeners to share on Facebook. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism concluded by announcing the making of the golden form of Mahasadashiva and inviting all to carve their names in golden leaves, which will be installed as forever part of the deity. Let us now listen to a few minutes of the address of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the mechanisms of the sleeping and the waking state.
Nithyanandeshwara Mahasadashiva Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Adishakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. All the disciples, devotees, satsangis, samajis, Shri Mahans, Mahans, Tanedars, Yajaman, Sarvangyapeta Yajamans, Kotaris, everyone sitting with us through Nithyananda TV and two-way video conferencing. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. I'll continue to expand on this physics, chemistry and biology. Listen carefully. Some things you need to understand about the state of consciousness to understand the biology, chemistry and physics of the cosmos. Every night when you fall asleep, it is not that all of you fall in the same deep sleep state or dream state. You are all cut to pieces like a mutton chicken. One chunk goes to dream waking, one chunk goes to waking deep sleep, one chunk goes to dream deep sleep, one chunk goes to sleep dream, one chunk goes to sleep sleep, one chunk goes to dream dream. You are actually sorry but truth, you are a disgusting disaster, not bipolar, multipolar, part. Your liver goes and settles into dream deep sleep, and kidney goes and falls into sleep sleep, and eyes are into dream dream, brain coma sleep. No, you fall, no, please understand, you fall into different states. When you wake up, don't think all the parts are retrieved. No. Liver still does not come out of its sleep. That is why it is sending the signals of lethargy into your system. Lethargy is nothing but your liver still not come to waking state. Daydreaming is your brain still not cognized waking state. Understand, when you wake up, it is not that all your parts are integrated and comes to waking state or Turiya state or Turyatita state. When you wake up, collecting your whole being and establishing
on Turyatita is what is Sandhya Vandana. That is what is precisely the science of Sandhya Vandana. Unfortunately, even Brahmins have lost, the born Brahmins have lost being practicing Brahmins. Forget about other three Varnas. The Varna which was dedicated for this purpose itself has stopped doing. That's the most unfortunate thing. We have so many Brahmanas who don't know they are Brahmanas. We have a lot of Brahmins, but they don't know. Many of them really, what Sandhya Vandana? What? I know Sandhya, I know Vandana. Sandhya and Vandana together, which movie? No, I know Sandhya, I know Vandana. Together, they have done any movie? That movie I don't know. If you feel, whole day I am working, but at the end of the day, if I see I don't know what I have done, listen carefully. If you feel, whole day I am working, but at the end of the day, I don't know what I have done. Neither I feel I have done something, nor others feel I have contributed something. But days passed. It means you have the same sickness. Multiple, disastrous, disgusting. We can create our own word. Homo, soma, coma, ama, bama, boma, memia. Because there is no name for it.
Let us now enter into the year 2020. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expounded on the cosmic principle, core components of the Kailasa ecosystem, his deity and devotee during the everyday life public address, the Nithyananda Satsang. On the fourth day of the Lila Dhyana meeting, Oneness with the Avatar, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism detailed the importance of the Kailasa ecosystem to manifest the state, space, powers of Paramashiva. He explained that life is Kalasarpa, the future swallowing the past, following which he explicated the connection between Nirahara and the Kalasarpa dosha. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also instructed that Abhishekam and the special puja to the deity, the small Arunachaleshwara, had to be performed so that the whole world will be relieved from the coronavirus. This, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism said, is an instruction from Maha Kalabhairava. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the address, and also the participants of the Lila Dhyana program in Tirunamale gathered and experiencing the program, where they can see the life from the beginning of the childhood of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
We're now moving on to the 6th of March 2021. On this day's presidential address, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism presided over the Paramashivoham Brahmotsavam Mandakapadi. The presidential address was the most auspicious Kalabhairava Baba Samaj darshan. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained, the Kala is the dimension of the universe in which the vibrational component, the Parashakti component of Paramashiva is manifesting. Just zoom out, see the space where Big Bang and black holes are happening simultaneously. Billions of planets, suns, moons, stars moving, taking birth, living for millions of years and disappearing simultaneously. That space is Kala. Kalabhairava is the Lord of time and space. As the Lord of time and integrity, he holds the key to cosmic archives, the Akashic records, which contain the past, present, and future. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is expanding on the space of Kalabhairava, the time and space. And also, let us now get ready to see a similar webinar where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has spoken about time and space. We are come to the end of the glimpses of the glorious past. And let's get ready to see a beautiful webinar which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expanded recently.
Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Listen. Paramashiva's own reflection, his own reflection in this universe is yourself. Yourself's original source in the parallel universe is Paramashiva. Listen. Understand this example. A swan, Paramahamsa, flying in the sky, is just floating in the sky. His reflection falling on a swimming pool. The reflection is you. The swan is Paramashiva. The swimming pool is your body. Understand, the moment reflection looks back to the source, it realizes it was, it is, it will be forever Paramashiva. Sometimes the reflection feels it is being hurt by the waves in the swimming pool. The reflection need to realize nothing in the swimming pool, even if the swimming pool is dried, it cannot hurt you. It cannot hurt the reflection, because reflection is centered in the source. You only have two choices. Either you can enjoy you being a reflection, or you can go back to your source. Beautifully, Paramashiva explains to Devi, anything goes circular. Listen. Anything goes circular, repetitive, is reflection of me. Even when it believes it is suffering, it cannot suffer. It can only forget its existence. In the delusion, it can force itself and imagine itself as if it is suffering. When that reflection looks back at the source, it realizes it is Paramashiva. It can never suffer. Listen. Listen to this deeply. You in the parallel universe is Paramashiva, the great swan floating in the space. The reflection of that great swan on the swimming pool in this universe is your individual self. That swimming pool is your body. Anything which goes round, listen, Paramashiva explains so beautifully. I'll tell you in the modern language, whether it's an atom or known universes, everything goes round it is in circular motion in the space, in Chitagasha, conscious space, anything, whether an atom or the known universe, everything is rotating in the circular motion. What is created in the circular motion is called circular time. The time which circles, repeats itself. You can see in your body, your hunger repeats itself. Your number 1, number 2, number 3 repeats itself. Your sleep repeats itself. Your patterns repeat themselves. Your decision to smoke, your decision to drink, your decision to be addicted to something, everything is repetitive. Understand? Anything which repeats is in the circular time motion. It is within the field of Nirantaratva but not Nityatva. It is within the field of Nirantaratva but not Nityatva. If you know, anything which repeats does not hurt you, cannot hurt you. You are liberated from time. You are liberated from Kala. Listen. Listen to this carefully. Ma Tripureshananda is messaging, need to drill into depth as default cognition. Drop your stupidity. Sincerely accept me as your guru. Drop all your cunningness and hypocrisy and playing games. This moment I will make this as your enlightenment, your realization. Listen. There are few people any knowledge I reveal, they immediately feel, wow, this is mine, I understand. Those people are followers. There are some people, if I reveal powerful cognitions, they understand, wow, this is mine. They are disciples. There are some people, if I reveal any powers, they immediately understand, hey, this is mine. They are my own. I should say, my extensions. Ma Tripuresha, if you get out of your hypocritical games, I can make these words as your realization now. Listen to this intensely. Whenever my gurus, Arunagiri Yogeshwara, he talks about some power, I simply know it is mine because he has it. When he has it, it is mine. I have a right. I am so obedient to him. so involved with him. I just know anything he has is mine. I tell you, I have some of the real gems, that kind of disciples. You may feel they are crazy if you see my relationship with them and their relationship with me. You may think it is crazy. But you should know it is gracie, not crazy. I'll give you many examples. One example right now I can remember. I can give immediately. One day I called Bhagavan Reddy from Dallas. I called him and told him. He asked me the boon to bless him with the wealth. I told him, stop seeing these movies, cinema, especially these Telugu movies. It's not that I'm against cinema and Telugu movies. No, I'm not against movie or cine industry. I just told him, stop watching movies. I'll shower you with wealth. He simply obeyed me. You should know not only wealth, his whole family, the whole ecosystem. He's now ready to blossom as an ecosystem for his whole city. See, when your family blossoms as beautiful ecosystem, then it expands into city. You can take it to the city. It may look so stupid. What is this, Swami? If I also stop watching movies, will I get money? No. For you, I will give you the instruction.